Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm not dead. It's been a while. The past month and a half really didn't go as well as planned. I ended up coming down with some sort of sickness and well, just got super dehydrated. But now I'm feeling better, able to get up and move around, and it's now fall. Nights are getting longer, days are getting shorter. Your shadows are getting long even though it's noon. And you can tell it's getting close to peak when, see if I can get that to zoom. The mountains have a nice orange tinge to them. Even that little hill there, starting to get some nice coloring going on. The apples have been mostly picked. Got to finish picking them today. Next week looks like we're going to have our first freeze. Last night got pretty chilly. About 34, 35 degrees. So, wrapping up on garden stuff. I've had a lot of people ask me. It's really super easy to do. You can zoom that out. But sauerkraut. I've done this inside before. It just makes a massive mess, and then you gotta sweep up and clean up, and it takes you just as long to clean up as it did to make it. So I do it outside. I've done it normally on our picnic table, but just for ease of mess, I can just leave it right there and it don't matter. The mower will hit it and just chop it up, and it'll turn back into, well, the rabbits will find it and the rabbits will eat it, and it'll break down and they'll be happy too. But I got several different types here. I have my storage ones here. The storage ones I got from Johnny Select Seeds out of Maine. The ones that I have cut here now, and these are the ones that are cleaned. These are my really go-tos. These are Murdochs. And their go-to, let's see, where's my big one? Back there. I got that one trimmed off quite a bit, but that guy is absolutely massive. I'll use an axe to chop them. It's just an old carpenter's axe that I've cleaned up, and I'll oil it when I'm done, but that carpenter's axe is probably a good 4.5 inches. And that is probably 8 inches tall. At the base, probably close to 8 inches wide. And some of these, like this guy here, I got cut up. I'll cut out all the bad spots, make them nice and clean, because after all, it's fermentation, and what you're looking for are, get off of me, the good bacteria to ferment instead of the bad bacteria. So anyways, these here are my storage, my Murdochs, which are the pointy ones. My next ones here are Savoys. Savoys I'll get from Roar Seeds. You can get them really anywhere. And then I have late flat Dutch, which some of these late flat Dutches are getting massive as well. I'm probably gonna cut that guy to make some stuffed cabbage tonight. Blind pigeons, glumpkies. Let me see, one of these, there's a good one. These guys here make a lot of biomass. So, really good cabbage for making sauerkraut. Real nice, tight, big heads. My Savoys I like for halushki, or even stuffed cabbage. Sometimes they're a little hard to break apart, but... And I still got some jalapenos over here. Tomatoes are done. I think how many did I pick? I think I picked eight bushels. Which there's still some green ones there that are trying to ripen up. They may or may not. There's really not that many green ones. Late blight did hit me, which is why some of these are pretty dead already. I did spray them to try and keep it back, which it did, and I got a really good harvest off of them. So, great year. my big pumpkins out front. I was gonna try and enter that into the fair, but that did not go as planned because I was sick that week. So nothing went to the fair. I had all this stuff prepped and ready to go and in baskets, and then by the time it came around to enter it in, then couldn't do it. But it's the way she goes.
That's the way she goes?
That's right. That's the way she goes. That's what I said.
So you lost all our drink money.
So we'll get into this. Give you a little bit of instruction. I have crocks. You can do it in buckets. I like doing crocks just because it's the older way of doing it. And this one here is a brand new one I just picked up. That one there is my old one. And I just realized it has a nice big crack running down the side of it. So that one there is just going to be storage now. And then I have my other one there that came from Roots to Harvest. But what I'll do is I'll sanitize it. I have this sanitizer in a bottle. It's actually beer sanitizing for brewing or making wine. This guy here I got from Ace Hardware down the road from us. And 119 bucks. 10 gallon. That's gonna fit a lot of cabbage. So, and then these are my weights. They've been sanitized. I'll boil them, and then after the first batch, you can boil them if they start getting fuzzy, but I normally just dry them off on the wood stove and let them stay nice and dry, and then I'll probably put them in that little crock now. That'll be my storage crock for all these. Yeah, I find some really flat field stones. I'll boil them for a couple hours, or you put them in the oven. Oven I kind of don't really like because these are very porous. They're not granite, but they're kind of like a sandstone, but they're very porous, so if there's any trapped moisture in there, and they tend to explode when they get hot. So you don't want your oven packed full of little pieces of rock. It's not supposed to be in there, so I'll just boil them. Or you could soak them in vinegar too, but then the vinegar is also going to leach into your batch, and I don't know if that's going to upset the apple cart. But so there's my weights, there's the cabbage, next is my salt, and I guess my handy dandy shredder over there. I'll use my shredder to get them nice and thin, and then I'll weigh the heads, and depending on how wet it is, we just had a rain Saturday. It's now super dry, but just had a rain Saturday, so these guys are absolutely packed full, and they're actually splitting because the insides are growing faster than the outsides. So since these are packed full of moisture, I'll tend to go a little bit higher on my salt. Per pound of cabbage, I'll put 1 to 2 tablespoons of salt. I'll probably do 3 just to be on the safe side, because these guys are probably going to push a lot of water out. And you don't have to add it. You can shred 1 head, 2 head, and then dump your salt in. Just keep track of how many pounds you put in, and then let it sit for about an hour or 2, get all the moisture out of it, and then I'll use a little stamper, just a piece of oak that I've whittled down into a handle. I'll use my stamper, crunch it down. You could use your hands, or you could also kind of wring them out like a towel, and then that'll get you your juices that will cover it. So you need everything covered, otherwise it's going to start growing mold. And your first batch, you're going to think you've done something wrong because it's going to start growing some white fuzzy mold, and it's not going to smell the greatest. Just let time hit it. You'll know it's bad after about a month when you start peeling back the covers and the whole thing's just nothing but brown goo. I've had one batch go bad, and it wasn't that big. It was actually, I tried it in a like a 2-gallon or a 1-gallon pickle jar, and I did have one batch go bad. You can immediately tell it was going bad because it was starting to get pretty slimy through the pickle jar. But keep it in a nice cool place, out of the sun. I'll put it downstairs on top of one of the stand-up freezers. That way it's out of the way and nobody hits it or kicks it over, or it's pottery, so it's not meant to be kicked. Otherwise it'll end up like that other one over there. But I guess it's enough talking. Time for movement. Alright. Well, this is after one cabbage. You can already see why I do it outside. I try and keep everything as clean as possible since I'm doing it outside. Keep the bugs out of it. Keep everything as sanitary as possible. So, in the meantime, I've had a revelation, and my amount of salt. Because I started to think, you know, this was a 5-pound head. 5 pounds times 3, that would mean 15 tablespoons. That's a lot of salt. That's way more than what it should be. It is 1 tablespoon per pound of cabbage, and sometimes I'll do 1.5 tablespoons. So that means for this, I'm going to need about 6 to 7 tablespoons of salt. Here's my handy dandy. Don't use iodized salt. Use this canning and pickling salt, because the iodine in the iodized salt will actually kill off some of your pathogens that you want. So use your canning salt. You can get it anywhere. Farm stores will carry it. Any of your grocery stores will carry it if they got pickling and canning supplies. So, and it's really just nothing fancy. It's just salt. And it says right there, ingredient salt. So, and it doesn't have to be Morton's. I'm sure there's other varieties and brands out there. That's just what I have here in the Northeast. So, all right, let's quarter up another one. Hopefully one that I can do while my phone's kind of pendling right off the side of this. You're gonna be upside down for a little, just because I like using my little hatchet here, because I've broken knives before doing this, and I can just chop them up a lot nicer. I'll take that. It's 1 pound hunk. Perfect. That means I got 6 pounds of cabbage in there. How much is left on this? About 3.5 pounds. So I mean, in that crock I have 8 pounds of cabbages, 2 heads. This cutting board I made. I just went to Lowe's, got 2 hunks of oak, pinned them together and glued them, and then I gotta put some finish on it yet. Toss that over in the garden, clean off some of the garbage here that's at the bottom of the head. Toss that over in the garden. There's a nice clean head that I can't put in there yet because I didn't. Alright, let's put you back. This guy here, keep your hands out of it. She is very sharp. And it doesn't take much. I'm not even pushing down on this and it's slicing. And you can watch it slice. I don't even have any pressure. I just put my hand on it because all it wants to do is roll. And then it starts peeling leaves off, and then you have leaves that are in the bottom that you can't do anything with. Also, I think ahead a little. Like this guy here, that's got a really nice size head to him. I will take some of these outer leaves that are nice and big and clean. I'll take them off, put them in a pile. I'll probably take a couple of them off. I'll use them to keep all my fines from floating up. Because once you put your weights in, they're going to float up. So I put these down as like a mat, and then I'll put the weights around it on this, and that'll keep your fines below oxygen, because once they hit oxygen, they'll start to mold. That's pretty sweet. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep slashing away here. I got 8 pounds of cabbages out of 2 heads. I got 12 heads sitting here. This is probably gonna fill it halfway. And it's gonna shrink down to about a quarter by the time the salt and everything reacts, so I'll keep pounding away and I'll see you in a bit when it's full. Alright, well, it's now about 4:30, 4 o'clock. I don't know what time it is. I have made a significant dent in my cabbages. There's a good row they're missing. And then I got spotty ones. These here, my storage ones, I'll save for winter. All the other ones are fair game. So, this is what I got down to. I filled this guy up first, and then moved everything over to the other one, the smaller one. Now I got my weights in here. I gotta move it before it starts really getting some water pushing. But what I'll end up doing is I'll put this downstairs. I'll keep an eye on it. It'll keep pushing and bubbling water up. And then that crock there, I got my my big leaves in. I'll cover it full with the big leaves, put the rocks on top of the big leaves, and then I'll take, you can get them pretty much anywhere. They're flour sacks. I'll put a flour sack around it, tie it off so the bugs don't get into it, and then just let it sit and do its thing for a month. I'll check up on it. Let's see, it is the 24th? Pretty sure it's 24th. 24th of October. So that means the week of Thanksgiving, or maybe even the week after. It's deer season, so I don't know. Maybe I'll do it deer season in between hunting in the morning. But yeah, I'll let this thing sit and do its thing. And by the way, this is Ohio stoneware. I like this. It's a little off shaped, but that's okay. It's good enough for what we're gonna do with it. This thing is heavy. It's probably about 200 pounds. And I got like 30 heads of cabbage in there at 5 pounds a piece ish. My heaviest one was about 10 pounds. So, and then I got dinner. More cabbage, stuffed cabbage, blind pigeons, glumpkies. That one there's too ugly to use big leaves for stuffed cabbage, so that one there's gonna be a Aloshki cabbage. I'll put that one in the fridge so it don't go all funny on us. But that's the end of what I'm doing here today. I'm gonna do some other things before it gets dark. I got about an hour left, and that's it. So thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Alright, welcome to the basement. I am going to try and do this one-handed, but there we go. This sauerkraut I did up, I think back in October, one of the last few weeks of October. It is now, I gotta check my phone as I've been off work for a couple days for my weekend. I don't know. Today's the 12th. Come on, let go. So, let's see what we got under here. It'll probably look, yep, pretty gross. But that's normal. That means things have happened. Ew. Oh. I should have grabbed a cleaner bucket than that, as that's my trash bucket. To get rid of my rocks. Let me find something to put these rocks in. Okay. I got an old pizza box. Set that off. I'll scrub these when I'm done with them. It's a little slimy. I'll take these. I'll scrub them down with a kitchen brush. Now, this mold here, you really shouldn't breathe in. It's probably not good for you. Mold of any type really isn't good for us. Oh, yeah, and there's some apples sitting over there yet. Now you'll know when this is bad, because it'll have like a funky rotting smell. And to me, this just smells like cabbage. It's not really, I don't know. I wish you had smell-o-vision, I guess. It smells like cabbage, but then it doesn't. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but you'll know when it's bad. It'll smell really horrible. Like things are rotting and not doing well. I should have grabbed a paper towel to get rid of all that schmoo in the corner, but let me do that. Alright. I got that. Switch hands here and hopefully not drop it in the drink. That's what my bucket's for. To get all this garbage off the top. This is stuff that the air has gotten to and has started to decompose. And this is normal. Happens with all my batches. And that's also why I put some really big leaves up top here, so I can just take this top part, pick it right up. You don't want to do this on your kitchen floor. Take that. Just for those people thinking, oh yeah, the cream always rises to the top. No, it doesn't. At least I'm not going to eat this. This stuff's pretty gross. But underneath is some really, really beautiful. This side here is a little mushy. Now here, this is a good. Right there. That brown, mushy stuff right there. And this really nice. I mean, this is. I'd have to go back into the date. I'm pretty sure my 1 month and a week date was the day of deer season, which was now 2 weeks ago. So this stuff has been down here fermenting for now a month and 3 weeks, which a month and 3 weeks I put as my very edge of my limit, because it just gets too mushy. I like to have a nice green crunch. And like this stuff here, this it's kind of funky in the color, but outside the camera, it has a little green tinge to it yet. So that stuff's going to be absolutely amazing. But I'll scrape this top inch or so off. All the stuff that's got the brown. Don't worry about the juice. It's been sitting in it this whole time. You're going to be eating it. It's just the mold that's on top that I don't like. And some of this is okay. Some of this is good, but I don't screw around. I mean, this is stuff, I'll give it out to friends. I'll give it out to family, some neighbors. If I'm not going to eat it, I'm not giving it away. It's that simple. So, all of my batches that I give away, I test. I test every batch. I'm not dead yet. Not yet. Here, this is wood. Hopefully this don't kill me now. But, I doubt it. Now that I got rid of that icky layer, let's sit down here. I gotta grab some more paper towel to clean off this rim here a little. That way it don't dry up. Because right now it's the perfect time to clean it. Yeah. Now's the perfect time to clean this and get this off of here. Because otherwise, it'll just dry up. It'll be a disaster to try and get off. Then I gotta get hot water. I got 4 minutes left on my recording that I can do. Clean that up. Make sure nothing falls in. Oh, and that covering, those are flour sacks that I've cut in half. You can get them anywhere. I got them at the dollar store, I think, or it might have been Wise down in Catawissa, but those are just flour sacks that I cut in half. And all that is just to keep the bugs out of it. And I'll take it, put it underneath this lip, and then tie a string around it so that it keeps the bugs out. It keeps it a little bit cleaner. Dip some of this shmoo out. Now what I'll do is, I'll take this out. I got my bucket here. Now this is that's for size. This is a 10-gallon crock, by the way. I only just got this. I've had 5 gallons before, but I really like this 10-gallon. This is nice. I actually still have cabbage sitting in my greenhouse in a tub, my storing cabbage, that I can shred some more and do some more of this if I want. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet with it. I'll probably make some more and give some more away, but it looks like, now what I'm smelling here now, I get down really close to it. It kind of has like a vinegary smell to it. Not quite like vinegary, but again, it's hard to describe. It smells like sauerkraut. It smells like a fresh can of sauerkraut that's been opened. Make sure I got rid of all that stuff. Then now what I'll do is, now that this is nice and clean stuff, this stuff looks amazing. I'll dig down and show you guys some before I run out of footage here. And then what I'll do is I'll take this upstairs and I'll taste it. Let's dig down deep. Oh, that's beautiful. Alright, now I'm back. What I'll do is I'll take this up. This looks gorgeous. This looks absolutely gorgeous, and it's like crunchy yet. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me try and break this one. Oh yeah, you can probably hear that one. This stuff's crunchy yet. So this is beautiful. What I'll do is I'll take this up, I'll rinse some of the extra salt off in the sink, and I'll just pack it into quart-sized bags, and I'll freeze it. And then I'll defrost it when I'm ready, and I got fresh homemade sauerkraut, and freezing it will keep the green, so I like it that way. But that's how you make sauerkraut. Catch you later.